Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're back with a StarCraft 2 cast. I know it's been a while since I've returned to this game, since I last played it or last casted anything from it. Actually, it was the Legacy of the Void beta. And since then, they've added chat emotes. Well, guys, we've got some serious problems with this game. The macro is in such a horrible state that we have to add safe space feminist sections off to the side here for in order for some races to be viable. We've got to make it so that every race can just wall off instantaneously. We've just completely shat on the ideas and concepts of Brood War, where things are readable and everything is designed from design standpoint to make sense and look good. And more importantly, the real issue that we've got here is that none of our fucking unit concepts make sense besides the ones that we stole from Brood War, and we can't goddamn for the life of us create a feasible unit that isn't a hard counter, besides, I guess, the Stalker. So, what do we do about this, guys? Don't worry, we'll add emotes and sprays! That's what we'll do. Thank you very much, Christopher Metzen and Dustin Browder. I'm glad Metzen retired. Browder, you need to retire under a rock. Anyways, here we go. We got Psychosis. Hey, that's a familiar term. That's why I picked this replay, because of that guy's name, playing as Red Zerg. And WildGame. Oh, WildGame, playing as Blue Terran. Excellent descriptions. WildGame and Psychosis, because it takes Psychosis to make this kind of wild game. Here we've got a higher level replay, I hope, than the last one I tried to cast and failed because StarCraft 2, after 10 fucking years or however long, 7 years since the game's been out, it still breaks your microphone as soon as you start. So the last replay I tried to cast that was hilarious and had lots of butter in it, and me flipping out and talking about Trump, had so much hilarity in it that I guess, somebody just decided it couldn't happen. But it was a really bad game. Like, the quality of the game was very bad. Made for some entertaining casts, though. Anyways, we do have some higher level stuff happening, I presume. Interestingly enough, this appears to be some kind of Ravager rush, because we rushed to full saturation on one gas, 2 out of 3 on the other, and rushed a Roach Warren to get these Ravagers out. Terran doesn't know that's happening, but has built a bunker, which I assume will make it somewhat difficult for them to pierce the defenses, at least for now. And we do have a tech lab being built on both of these structures, so obviously pretty soon we'll see siege tanks in response to this, I can only imagine. And Terrans can just neatly feminist their way to victory here. I don't know why we have an SCV inside the bunker. That seems to be a misstep. There we go. And we do have these SCVs with their lovely little auto repair feature. And we're going to go ahead and watch as these Ravagers just have some fun. That was pretty funny. So he's pulling them in, and is he going to micro his SCVs? He micros his SCVs a little bit, but it looks like, I don't know if it's enough. It doesn't look like it is enough. Do we have a siege tank coming? It is almost done. He wasn't able to micro any structures over here to complete this wall, but we do have a siege tank on the way for the Terran player. WildGame is not about to GG out of this WildGame. He will not give into the psychosis of game design decisions. And it looks like the siege tank being up there will stop this assault, at least temporarily. We do not have enough money for another siege tank for the Terran player. He does have enough for mules, but he hasn't used it yet. Marines are just getting shat the fuck on. And we have overlords over here to cast vision for this stuff. So this is actually a pretty effective route by Psychosis. The problem is, of course, he's doing this off of one base. That should wipe out the... it looks like they're just trying to... What he's trying to do is just poke down these supply depots. And it looks like he's not going to lose any Ravagers for it. This guy really does need another siege tank, but he's actually supply capped right now. Looks like he finished a supply depot right over here behind his base. So now they're charging down the siege tank. It looks like it will be taken down because the medevac didn't rush over to save it in time. But yeah, it looks like these Marines are also going to get bursted down. I don't see a way out of this for the Terran player. It looks like Psychosis will reign supreme once again, unless oh, there's a Liberator coming up, but I still don't see a way out. I mean, Psychosis has been able to sit on his poor macro for quite a while now, and there's no supplies. He was able to queue up a siege tank, and I guess we can hope that this Liberator can save him from Psychosis. But it looks like I said, I think Psychosis has got this one in the bag here. Liberator is only able to cover so much distance. Oh, actually is managing to... Oh, his Liberator got sniped by the fucking Ravagers. That's bad. That is very... Oof. I don't know what you do if you're the Terran player here, besides... Well, he does have a tank. Can you still lift up siege tanks while they're in siege mode? I know that was added in the beta. I don't know if it's still going here. We're only 5.5 minutes in, and this is what can happen this early in the game. That's pretty crazy. Siege tank just in tank mode right now. Ravager Cocoon that's a good spot for it, I would say. But this has been so much damage to the Zerg, to the Terran player's macro. Zerg player hasn't really the best macro currently, but he does have 2 more Ravagers on the way. This assault is not letting up anytime soon. Pretty much no matter what. I think that WildGame is done for. But I've said that a while now, and he's held on. This should be the assault that really takes the cake. Oh, he did pick them up. He microed them off with... Oh, he's pulling off the... Ooh, man! This could be so sexy if it works. It doesn't look like it will. Oh, he is doing it. He's doing it. Holy shit. He's going to do it. He's not microing to kill the Ravagers. The weak Ravager. Man, he was pulling off the siege... I don't know what that's called, but you can actually take the siege tank out before the... like that! Before the missile hits. This is actually really surprisingly... I was not expecting this sort of level of play coming out from this. This is also really disgusting that you can just do that when they get low. But whatever. And it just cancels... It automatically cancels it. What the fuck? That's disgusting. That is so... Oh, man. That's some high-level outplays right there. I don't know if the Zerg player can finish this. He's actually really, really low on money, and he keeps sending just whatever forces he has to try to take out this tank that's getting repaired now. So this is... another tank's coming. I think WildGame has this in the bag. Holy shit. I kept counting him out the entire time, but he really told me who was wild. What a wild ride. He's actually had to take this tank and micro the shit out of it just because if he doesn't, and he can't siege it because then the Ravagers use their corrosive bile. That was just such clean execution. Very, very surprising because I just wasn't expecting it after the last game I had to fucking deal with. So, no butter. Just full-blown fucking micro. Now the Zerg player is going to be supply blocked even. Have to spend 100 minerals on Overlords. He is not training any. He looks like he's just queued up one more. And there's 2 tanks now. I honestly think Psychosis is screwed. I don't see how WildGame could screw this up now. Yeah, there's the GG. And he's out of there. So a surprisingly enjoyable game. I was not expecting that. You know, when a name like Psychosis is the first name that I see, I tend to expect something that would sort of reflect that level of inside joke humor. But off of 2 workers and mules and some decent drop micro, the Terran player was able to smash Psychosis into the head, in his head into the ground. And apparently into my head, because I can't form sentences now. So that was cool. Much better than the Butter game, which sadly I will not upload because the audio is just screwed. But hope you enjoyed the cast. Bye.